Alright, hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the Bratcat channel. This is Hobfoot, that is Aloy, and this is Horizon Forbidden West. We come down here. I like this little archy thing. And I'm seeing that tree up there in the little pot. Was that there before? Was that tree there before? I like the pot. Glaze is pretty cool on it. It's got an interesting shape. Anyway. Yeah, okay. Splash. We are finishing up finding Demeter. It's the plant thing. We met Alva and them all the way over here. The greenhouse. I like how that one's like its own odd shape. I mean, I suppose this is its own odd shape too, but like, where were the other places we went? We were up here. The Ninma research lab, but it doesn't have its own icon. And we were this is Vegas, right? Yeah, we were like in here. It doesn't really have its own thing. I'm trying to remember where we found stuff. I mean, anyway, I guess there are a lot more like custom icons on this map, which is pretty cool. Yeah, anyway. We're gonna just talk to Guerilla. Okay. Gotta go meet Talana. That's a thing we've got to go do soon. Anyway, enough of that nonsense. We're going into the base to finish up our quest. We got to talk to Gaia and put in the new module. How much time is going on? Like, how much time and effort are Zoe and I imagine Varl putting into like bringing all this stuff up here? Also, we know definitely on the other side, but let me double check over here. Pretty sure over here. Yeah, like this whole thing, they're all up on cliffs. Like, there's no stairs, there's no ramps. Definitely not on this side, certainly not on the other side. So, like, how are they getting all this stuff up here? How are they spending all that much time and effort and all that stuff, you know? Oh, we got some speech bubbles. Alright, alright.
The old ones created so many wonderful inventions to help others. To help the planet.
Ooh, something went through.
Technology really can be an amazing thing.
Yeah, until it gets a mind of its own and decides to kill everyone.
You're just a ray of sunshine, aren't you?
Only for you.
Nah. Alright, let's talk with people, see what's up.
Looks like you got what you wanted.
Yeah. It's almost time to go after Hephaestus.
Finally. We get to rock and roll. Yeah, at least that's how the old ones said it, I think.
Bet you're used to that focus by now.
Well, I can hit machines in their weak points. I guess that's something. I wish all the other data was as easy to deal with. Now, to be honest, it's hard to understand half of what's on there. And then the other half reminds me, this isn't a fight you can win by just waving a hammer. Which is kind of what I do. But hey, that just means I gotta study harder. Now, make myself useful.
Just give it time. Anything happen I should know about?
Zoe asked us to help her bring more plants in here. Not for eating, apparently. Yeah, if you ask me, the place is fine as it is. You know, metal might be plain, but it's sturdy. Nothing wrong with that. Who needs a bunch of vegetation?
It's so weird to see him with the focus on. It's pretty cool though. All right, we're not playing
should get
Strike,
going.
so
Say hi to Gaia for me.
they don't go and talk to Gaia themselves. I would be. Well, obviously, I'm gonna be trying to learn as much as I could.
Aloy,
So always disappears.
is that what I think it is?
Just need to merge it with Gaia, and she'll have enough power to handle Hephaestus.
Good news. So, what can I do for you?
I hope Zoe's not upset I'm distracting you from your training.
Yeah, I don't think you have to worry about that.
What do you mean? What happened?
Well, before Zoe found a way to fix the land gods, I suggested that when Gaia was fully restored, she could just make new ones.
Well, once we get Hephaestus, that's definitely a possibility.
That's what I said, but I guess there was something about my tone she didn't like. She got pretty raw. Said I didn't understand the way her tribe feels about those machines.
Well, that
Which is
makes
true,
sense.
of course, and the last thing I'd ever want to do is dismiss their traditions. But I was trying to look at things differently. More like you know? To see a machine as just a machine.
Yeah, I guess I led you into trouble there, didn't I?
Not your fault. Don't worry.
No, more training
Did you
stuff,
talk
okay.
to Zoe after your fight?
I suffered through a few hours of glaring silence. Then she seemed to move on. Sort of. How do people do this? How do I know if the next thing I say won't blow up in my face? What if an apology is not enough next time?
You give her a stuffed animal?
You're the worst. You know that?
What makes you think I know anything about any of this? You're on your own.
Abandoning me again, huh? Well, if she kills me next time, it's on you.
Oh, I like Varl.
Better get this to Gaia.
You did it, Aloy.
Let's hold off on the ale till it's over and done with.
I'll let Aaron know.
Sometimes you see them move and you get like a smeary, like they'll swing their arms when they're talking. I noticed that when they were just doing that. And you get this like smeary outline that falls. See, when you really look at it, like you can kind of see it now as she's walking around. I don't know if that's because of the way textures move around her or behind her,
Are you sure that's what the data says?
or the way she's moving
I'm
around.
telling you, it's a drink, but it's soft.
How is it soft?
It says here it had bubbles in it.
Well, we can't expect to make sense out of everything the old ones did.
Eh. So you can see like smeary things sometimes, but other times you don't see it. I don't know if that's because it's this game. It's the PS5. It's just how graphics are sometimes, you know? It's interesting. Man, So
Definitely not
really
getting
has the
any of
run of this place. She plays Strike 2 now? What is it? Oh no, it's just showing me that Aaron's over there. I thought it was like pointing to the thing here. I was like, what? Is there like pottery there? Trying to fix it maybe?
Aloy, you've returned. And you come bearing gifts. Does this mean we'll soon be able to uproot the Zeniths from our lands?
That's what I'm hoping.
Good.
You ever play that board game Aaron set up?
Strike? I'm the one who gave it to him. I was hoping it'd distract him enough to spare us that ruckus he calls death metal. No such luck.
I think they kind of went on the stereotype there, like, I'm a hardcore, hammer wielding, ostrom, and I like to drink and like make a ruckus, and I'm rough and tumble, and yeah, death metal. I think something like, like country music or like Mozart or something, like. It's like stereotypical anyway. Stereotypical that, of course, that kind of person likes that kind of music. Or stereotypical, like, oh, sure, give the, that kind of a person the weird taste in music or whatever.
It looked like you were working on something over there.
With Gaia now growing in strength, I've been trying to find a way to heal the land gods, even if some people think I should give up on them.
Already said I was sorry.
Your friend thought it would be a good idea to replace the land gods with new machines when Gaia recovers.
It wasn't.
The land gods have taken care of our people for generations. They are not some broken toy to be thrown away. Even if they are just machines doing their job, to abandon them in their time of suffering seems cruel.
I'm sure Varl understands that too.
He does now. I had to get pretty mad at him at first, though.
You know I can hear you guys, right?
Oh, LaFaro. Also, I don't like the explanation of, you have to let you know that you're wrong or that I think you're wrong by being mad at you. That seems a little convoluted and messed up. That's probably why there's a lot of problems with interpersonal relationships in general. Instead of just being like, yeah, no, you don't understand, and then explaining it.
Varl looks pretty focused.
He's been obsessing over the data revealed to us by Poseidon.
He
Just
likes
the other
fish.
day, we read about mountains hiding deep underwater that spew fire. If I understand correctly, Gaia said the flames they release come from the very center of the earth. Like a heart, beating with the life of the world. As always, the cycle can be found in even the most unlikely of places. Of course, Varl's mostly interested in watching explosions happen underwater.
I should get going.
If you need me, you know where to find me.
Alright, let's see if we can talk to Katalo. Is he usually over here? Oh no, this is like a data room or something. And we got a little hollow rocket ship thing. I wish, like, we've gone through a bunch of different things. I wish there was more, like, you know, oh look, we did this thing and now there's a hollow trophy thing. You know, and then we did this thing and there's a hollow trophy thing. Ah, machine cores.
The old ones used holograms for everything.
It let them experience a great many things.
Oh, he's got a talkie thing again.
Holograms are illusions, though. I wonder if at some point they just couldn't tell what was real anymore.
Maybe. They were intelligent, but that doesn't mean they were wise.
Alright, let's talk to Varl again.
You look like you've got something to say.
Just a couple of questions. Looks like things between you and Zoe are better now.
I suffered through a few hours of glaring silence. Then she seemed to move on. Sort of. How do people do this? How do I know
Okay,
if
we
the
just
next
did
thing I
this,
say
didn't
won't
we?
blow up in my face? What if an apology is not enough next time?
You could give her a stuffed animal?
You're the worst. You know that?
What makes you think I know anything about any of this? You're on your own.
Abandoning me again, huh? Well, if she kills me next time, it's on you.
I wonder if it's just my TV. Maybe that's why I see, like, the streaking things. Because I've, you know, got, like, a cheap TV or something.
I have to get going.
Don't let me get in your way.
Even a cheap 4K TV is worth it. The 4K is just beautiful. Some people are like, I can't tell the difference. I don't understand those kinds of people. I can so tell a difference. I'm on my phone, and my phone's like, you know, it's a tiny screen, and it's like at the wrong resolution from what I'm looking at. It still is like a... I don't understand why you can only open that door one way. Just like that. It's not a very good secret door. Oh, yeah, they got a bath mat in here now. A couple vases and some flowers. This is where they do dishes, I guess.
I'm telling you, the old ones with blades on their feet and
Danced on ice.
That doesn't sound safe.
Does sound fun, though.
Got a bunch of stuff out here. Why is there just a bunch of trash? Like, it's not even, like, old one trash. It's, like, these guys' trash. Come on, guys. Keep this place clean. Didn't invite you all here for...
The Oseram plays.
You busy?
One must never be idle when at war. but there is always time to speak to one's commander.
Oh, that's not really how I see myself.
It is how we see you.
A little kind of backwards though, because you know, if it's the if she's the commander, usually commanders, you know, want to stay out of harm's way and direct their troops and such, instead of the troops staying at the fort and then the commander going out solo, just
Anything
eating
interesting
everything.
happened while I was away?
I found an acceptable place to practice with my blade.
Oh, nice.
And where's that?
Outside, above the base. There's a nest of sunwings that are always up for a fight.
Ever thought of sparring with something that's not trying to kill you?
That would defeat the purpose of the training.
He does have a very good point.
What have you been up to?
Varl has asked to learn the differences between my people's clans, so I've been teaching him Tenakth history. It is heavy with blood and death, but also with honorable deeds and vanquished tyrants. Maybe you'd like to hear about it as well, when our mission is done.
I'd be honored.
I'd like to hear about it now. That'd be dope. Why can't I hear about it now?
I'll let you get back to your training.
And so will I.
Okay. Well, let's go find Beta. She'll be the last one we gotta talk to. Probably won't have anything to say. I think we've gotta go down this one. Slide! Oh, okay. You gotta really be running to... Alright. Nothing to say to her, I guess. Maybe after we, talk to Gaia.
Well, you have 2 left feet, like I do.
I could teach you.
Don't tempt me.
By the forge, find an inn and leave me alone.
Ah! Oh my god. I got some good lines here. Yeah, we were talking again to, what's that fuzzy thing? Behind, like on the back, on her, like, midriff of her back. Is that like a warrior bow? Like a little hand bow or a shredder gauntlet or something? Can't tell what I'm looking at. Is that the pull caster? A little 2 pulleys on the end. Never noticed that before. I don't know what that's supposed to be. Anyways, you say we listened to that one conversation twice, and it's like, you know, I really don't mind, to be honest, because the graphics on the character models are so
Aloy.
good.
I see you have recovered Demeter.
Alright, let's talk to her first. Can we talk to her first? Oh, come on, let us talk to her. Just waiting for our base to get raided or something. How many kernels is this now? Or sub-functions?
Aloy.
Nice!
With the acquisition of Ether, Poseidon, and Demeter, my heuristic processing density has expanded greatly. I should now be able to absorb Hephaestus, and fortunately, we have made progress on a plan to capture it. With Varl's encouragement, Beta analyzed all available information on Hephaestus. Its expansion has been rampant. It is too large to be beamcast, and the kernel you have been using could never hold it. Therefore, it must be contained in a location with a direct physical connection to me. A place with 2 data cores.
2 cores. Where would we find a place like that?
Gemini.
An abandoned cauldron in the desert west of here.
Ah.
Seismic activity disrupted the original construction. 2 data cores were built as a result.
I know that place. It's near the Desert Clan's capital. We'll have to bring you there by hand.
That doesn't seem dangerous at all.
I have devised a blueprint for a suitable, albeit unwieldy, transport rig.
Oh, good. Escort
It will
missions.
require 2 people to carry it to Gemini.
I can help.
Once I am installed on the first core, I will call down Hephaestus on the other, trapping it. I will then initiate the merge. However, in order to construct the rig, I will need considerable help.
Can you build it? I suppose I could, but it's not gonna work. The Zeniths will find you. Minerva won't be able to conceal your location.
That is correct. Absorbing Hephaestus will create a significant power surge, easily detected by anyone capable of noticing.
But what if there were multiple power surges? To fake out the Zeniths? If Erend, Zoe, and Katalo spread out to the other cauldrons and create their own surges, would those conceal the one at Gemini?
Analyzing. Such a tactic might be effective. With Beta's help, we should be able to build a set of handheld pulse generators.
I told you it's not gonna work. I did a test. Hephaestus has written Alpha clearance out of its access module. You'll never be able to capture it. Then we need a higher level of clearance. There is no higher... Ted Faro's mega clearance. The one he used to purge the Apollo database and kill the Alphas. But to get it, you would have to find Thebes. The private bunker he retreated to when the world ended, and...
Yes! Okay, yes! Finally! Okay, Thebes, it's gonna be a thing! Oh, awesome! Okay, super excited. This is fantastic. Here's the thing, though. Why? Why? For all the just... Why would you ever give Ted Faro the highest clearance? Let him think he has the highest clearance. Totally down with that. But don't actually give it to him. Why would you do that? See what happened? That was predictable. You should have known 100% that that was going to happen. Ugh. Okay. But we're going to go to Thebes. Totally dope. Always wanted to do that. I'm glad they put this in here. It's going to be freaking awesome. Okay, anyway.
Nobody knows where that is, not even the Zeniths. Their only intel was that it was somewhere in San Francisco. That might be all I need. Alva, the Quen diviner I met, said her people had set up a base at landfall. They were searching for data in San Francisco from there. She might be able to help. So I guess I'm headed all the way west. While I'm gone, will you be able to build the rig and the pulse generators? I'll try.
I'll make sure she has what she needs.
I think I like bows to Gaia.
Alva said the Quen have a ferry on the coast that they use to get to the ruins of San Francisco.
Oh, did she?
That's where I need to go.
Pharaoh's tomb.
I have managed to unlock an additional room near the servers.
Yeah.
Understood. Hey, Gaia. It's me.
Why does it happen?
Hello, Aloy. Did you wish to continue our discussion?
About the old world. Okay. About Gemini.
So Gemini has 2 data cores. I've never seen a cauldron like that. But you mentioned something about seismic activity?
When my predecessor attempted to build the cauldron, construction was disrupted by a series of earthquakes. The data core had already been built, but the rest of the facility sustained damage.
How does she know this?
So, she began again, a second core was built. However, when more tremblers occurred, she abandoned the site.
Okay, that's why I was
Lucky for us. Are the quakes still happening?
No, though they did also create instabilities in other facilities in the region.
Yeah, we've seen some of those. So I wonder, so the old Gaia is not the new Gaia, right? But how much of this new Gaia, this core concept that is Gaia, how much of that is or was the old Gaia? So in Zero Dawn, we've got Sobek talking to Gaia, and Gaia's talking to her like as a friend. She talked to her as a friend, a companion. Is that been copied? Is this Gaia, does it have the same grasp on I don't know, humanity, on emotions, on, you know, things like that? Or is this Gaia going to turn out to be, yes, it's only logical that now that you have given me control of all my functions, that I destroy everything and start again? You know, is it going to be one of those dealies? At the end of the game, you know, at the very end, Gaia turns on everybody, and then, like, we go through, like, 50 hours of trying to beat the Zenith, only to have to team up with them at the end to, you know, regain control of Gaia or some nonsense. Be a little bit stereotypical. Anyway.
So the facility where I recovered Demeter used to be a Faro agricultural research facility. It's where they created the biomass conversion system, but also adamantine wreath. Did Elizabeth know they were working on that?
It is likely she was briefed on other efforts to combat the machine swarm, though her focus was devoted only to Zero Dawn.
That makes sense. But they actually got the wreaths to work. If they've been able to deploy it against the Faro plague in time...
Using the data you recovered on the project, I ran several simulations and have concluded that it would never have worked. In all scenarios, the Faro war machines would eventually hack and deactivate the wreaths before they could contain the swarm.
So Zero Dawn really was the only solution. There was a lot of data in the greenhouse facility about agriculture. Do you think it'll help the Quen fix their homeland?
I will run a query. Complete. The data contains information about novel crop production methods, which may be beneficial to the tribe in the long term.
But new crops aren't going to save the world, so I guess it's on us.
It is.
It would be interesting to see, you know, I don't know what this novel crop discovery things or production they're talking about, but in a lot of our current day novel crop production stuff, it's really on, I don't know about going back to, I don't think saying going back to old school techniques. In some instances, yes, like the I believe they're called the Three Sisters. You know, in your maize, squash, and beans or something like that. I don't know, but it's a Native American planting technique where you would plant them all together. They all require different things out of the soils, and they all help each other grow. And I know there's been a lot of... Oh, that was a weird little glitchy thing there. I know there's been a lot of research into, you know, how does that apply to other groups of crops in other places. Things about, like, you know, the Western world, quote unquote, has really, you know, the first world countries of the Western world, we'll put it that way, really exported a lot of their techniques that were good and from necessarily probably weren't all that good, but they were what they did at the time and exported that knowledge and tradition, I suppose, but also worked for where they were at, their climates. But like when you export it to South America, when you export it to Africa and to different, you know, Indonesian colonies and stuff like that, you know, it doesn't work the same there. You know, it's the soils are different. Why does it keep doing that little glitch thing? The soils are different. The crops grow differently. Just all of the environment's different. And so a lot of things are learning, like, you hear things, I forget where the place was, like North Carolina or something like that, where a farmer, he grazes his cows, not on open fields, but in small forests. Or, different copses of trees and stuff, and they're big enough that they can go through there, and the cows can get food still, and there's trees, and like just all these things work together. Things where it's like, planting. Why does it keep doing that? Planting coffee in Africa instead of corn. Things like, because the corn's just gonna eat up the ground, but the coffee's gonna grow better there. You don't have to. I forget what it's called, but when you burn down a patch of woods so that it's good for planting food, and then you can use it for about 7 years, and then it's no good anymore, and you have to burn down another section of forest and let the other stuff go. Things like that, where it's like, the coffee will grow naturally. You don't have to do any of that stuff. It doesn't tear up their natural, in Africa, the natural environments there. It'll grow, in more mountainous regions, I think. Different things like that, where it's like, it makes more sense. Just, use common sense, not just, brawn. Work smarter, not harder, for, like, crop production and plants and stuff. So I wonder if it's a lot of that stuff where they, like, refined that, and it would be like, yeah, this is actually going to be useful and helpful for these people in San Francisco, the Quinn. Or will it, or is it just some weird tech stuff that they can't even do? Or, anyway, that thought is very interesting to me. There's your world history lesson or whatever, I guess.
Beta's convinced we won't be able to capture Hephaestus. With that attitude, do you really think she'll be able to build the rig and pulse generators?
It may take some coaxing, but with some assistance, I am confident she will.
I don't get her, Gaia. She's so quick to assume we'll fail. She's nothing like what I thought she'd be. I guess it'll be best if she stays here when we go to Gemini.
Maybe you should expect from her what she gives you, and not some made-up thing in your head.
All this data I've picked up in ancient bunkers and ruins. I guess I never really thought that other people would be looking at it.
Based on my observations, your companions engage quite frequently with this material. Erend has asked on numerous occasions about birthday parties. He appears perplexed by the tradition of serving a sweet confection, as it conflicts with the Oseram tradition of serving sparkling stout ale. He also suggested we host a party for you, as a surprise.
Whoa.
Yeah, no thanks.
That is what I predicted.
I'm gonna say, way to ruin the surprise there, Gaia, but yeah, that's probably.
Is Katalo getting along with everyone?
Yes, though he prefers to spend most of the time alone. He appears to be collating data on war machine progression and significant battles during the Pharaoh Plague.
Oh, that's good.
To aid in the creation of a war map of Operation Enduring Victory. I believe he aims to study the tactics of old world warfare.
I'd be interested in seeing that.
It appears to be a private pastime for him. He has repeatedly declined my offers to assist his research.
I'm sorry, it's good to have a hobby. Alright, let's see, we're gonna learn something new.
So our plan
here.
to capture Hephaestus. Let's go over it again.
As you wish.
Oh, these character modder details are
Thanks
so good.
to Beta's test, we now know that
game looks so
Hephaestus
good.
will not respond to your alpha clearance. Which is why you will need to procure Ted Faro's Omega clearance.
Right. From his personal bunker, Thebes.
While you are gone, I will assist Beta in building the transport rig and pulse generators. When we get to Gemini, I will need to be installed on one of the facility's cores. The second core is for Hephaestus. Using Omega clearance will allow you to trap it.
And then you'll be able to absorb it.
Not quite. You will need to manually remove Hephaestus's malicious code before the merge.
Yeah, we don't want to mess that
How
up.
long will that take?
There are calculations I still must run, but I estimate a few hours.
And during that time, the others will create a distraction for us using the pulse generators, right?
Correct. They will each take position at a cauldron door and fire off their device. The energy surge should mask our activities until the merge is complete.
And then we'll have everything we need to defeat the Zeniths. Sounds like a plan.
Couple thoughts. I'm wondering if that's going to be... This capture Hephaestus thing is going to be the final battle of the game, you know, like the Save Meridian thing. I can definitely see us, like, doing, like, a wave-on-wave siege thing between other clans that are coming after us, hordes of machines that they control, and the Spectres, and, you know, like, the Zeniths themselves having to do stuff. And then, here's the other thing. Their tech is so good. Do we know, can we know, if they're not listening to everything into our focus network? They're sufficiently advanced. They sent the original pulse to awaken and take control, the malicious code of Hades. You know, that was added into Hades to make it go crazy. And to do... I don't know if this is Hephaestus going on its own, or if this is some of the code that was used to get Hades up and going again. You know, that Hephaestus also has a piece of, or a copy of, or something. But they can do all that. What is to keep them from staying... from getting into our focus network? They might be listening into everything as we speak. And they could be setting a trap for us. They would know, like, okay, even if they don't know, even if they can't hear everything we speak, like hearing this plan right now, when we talk over the focus network to say, okay, on the count of 3, everybody set off your things, 1, 2, 3, you know, they can listen to that and probably make pretty good determinations of, you know, who's the one who's likely to be close with the actual Gaia thing, you know. Here's the thing that just popped in my head. That AI that was controlling those lures obviously had a personality, which was previously disallowed on Earth. You had to meet certain requirements. We saw that in the Frozen Wilds. And I'm wondering, with that, if they've had no caps or raised what would be a cap on artificial intelligences for their society, I wonder if I forget what planet they were from, like Sagittarius or something like that, Sirius something. I wonder if their whole civilization ended there because the AIs got out of control and kind of pulled a you know, kill all humans kind of thing, or maybe not even kill all humans, but all the AIs started with their own plans and, like, taking things in their own hands and fighting other AIs and manipulating everything. You know, you never know. So that's interesting. Anyway, I'm talking too much.
So now that you have Ether, Demeter, and Poseidon, how's the biosphere looking?
In the local region, conditions have improved. Superstorms have subsided. Water sources have been purified, and soil conditions remediated. These
Sweet.
improvements will stave off environmental collapse for a few additional months.
Well, with luck, soon you'll have Hephaestus. Then you'll be able to fix the biosphere for good, right?
Correct. I will be able to design and produce robotic agents to permanently reverse the environmental damage that has accumulated.
And that sounds like all new monsters for us to fight in Horizon 3. That's what that sounds like.
There's something I've been wondering.
Oh,
How could
and
Ted
there's
Faro
something
create a
else.
clearance level higher than Alpha? Elizabeth made sure he wouldn't interfere with the project.
It is plausible he tasked his own engineers with creating a back door to the
Shocker.
Zero Dawn system, without Elizabeth's knowledge.
The first thing she
My
should have been on
predecessor did
guard
not even
for.
know of its existence until he activated it to purge the Apollo database. It is, in effect, a blind spot. One that will allow us to subdue Hephaestus.
Oh, interesting.
And fortunately, thanks to Beta's information, we know where Omega clearance may be procured.
Right. Somewhere in San Francisco.
Oh, and I totally called the Quen being descendants of Ted Faro. I'm pretty sure that must be what's going on there. In their whole, we've been tasked with keeping the data, all that nonsense. I was going to say about the biosphere, I wonder if we'll see, like, those red zones kind of diminished, you know? Where that, like, noxious weed stuff is. Alright, I guess let's ask about Demeter.
Have you been able to make use of Demeter's functions?
Yes. I was able to mitigate most soil conditions and restore a temporary balance. You should notice less rampant plant growth in the area.
Maybe that'll give Plainsong's fields a chance to recover.
Unfortunately, recovery in that area is unlikely without the assistance of the Utaru's land gods. I have discussed this matter with Zoe. I believe we may have a workaround.
Yeah, we've been waiting
Yeah.
on that mission.
I'm helping her out with that.
Whenever she decides, we can do it. Oh, Demeter again? Okay.
There's something I'm still trying to figure out. Why was Demeter using flying machines to distribute metal flowers?
In its deranged state, Demeter was defending itself against a robotic swarm that would devour all plant life.
It thought the Pharaoh Plague was still happening?
It feared it would come again. As part of its directive of receding Earth's vegetation, it sought to protect plant life at all costs. And considering it had 20 years to proliferate, I expect you will continue to find the fruits of its efforts for some time.
That's a good thing I have the code to dissolve the vines, then.
So I wonder, you know, why were the metal flowers in the east and, you know, different?
I'll be on my way.
I wish you safe travels.
Alright, I'm assuming that's gonna be Zoe. That makes sense.
Looks like the old ones used their telepaths to send all kinds of messages back in the day.
All over the world, too. Anytime they wanted.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd like that. I wouldn't want my Aunt Alga knowing she could just talk to me every second of the day. My ears would pop off.
Some things never change. Oh, I got stuck on the wall. I was trying to see if I could slide down both stairs. Is this the door?
The door's unlocked now.
Different door?
What was this room for, Gaia?
This was intended as a diagnostic center to monitor machine activity in the repair bay below. It appears most of the equipment was damaged, likely from Minerva's control of this facility.
Yeah, she did try really hard to keep me out. Looks like a power cell could fit here.
I like how we've got some of these containers from the cauldrons. Very interesting.
The vault. I found a locked door behind the vent in the basement. Wonder if that's it.
I've got to be more careful. Jensen almost caught onto my plan while we were going over the diagnostic center specs. I've got nothing against the rest of the team. It's just... I'm sure they've all got family they're gonna meet up with in Elysium. But me? I couldn't even bury August. There is nothing of him left besides my memories. I won't let those blink out of existence too. The vault's for us, no one else. 11 more weeks before we lock the blueprints. Then the rest will be up to Gaia.
Okay. Interesting. Now, I've got to figure out where the,
Did you want something?
Okay, I didn't know that was there. I literally just saw that symbol pop up. Pretty sure this is new. How'd I miss this? About Hephaestus. RCC, okay. Oh wait, it's about us though. What? Okay. Aloy and Gaia want me to help figure out how to capture Hephaestus. I'd put chances of success at about 0.0, but I might as well give it a think, because 1, without Hef's ability to make machines, the Zeniths will have us at their mercy, and 2, what else am I going to do? As always, the first step is to outline the problem. Like the other subordinate functions, Hef achieved quasi-sentience when Gaia received the signal from Sirius. Was Sirius. And when Gaia blew herself up to stop Hades, Hef fled, looking for a new home. But unlike the other sub-functions, which seem to have taken refuge in whatever physical processors they could find, Hef hid in the globe-spanning network that connects all the cauldrons in the world. Maybe because no single processor was large enough to contain it, or because it sought out the code environment it was most familiar with. Regardless, becoming a ghost in the network enabled it to pursue its twisted new mission: infiltrate cauldron production facilities, build combat units, and deploy them against humans, all in an effort to protect terraforming machines from tribal hunters. Escalation ensues. As hunters become adept at neutralizing its killing machines, Hef makes more. Bigger, better armed, deadlier. But this is a digression. For our purposes, the main point is that Hef isn't in one place, so Aloy can't simply find it and use the Master Override to contain it in the Gaia kernel, like Aether, Demeter, or Poseidon. It can flee to any cauldron at any time. Ergo, we've got to trap it somehow, probably in a cauldron core, and cut off its access to the network. But how? As of this writing, I have... Writing? That was a word. But as of this writing, I have literally no clue. To make matters worse, the data that Gaia provided seems to indicate that Hef is changing. The exact methodology isn't clear to me, but its codebase has expanded. That's bad news. For one thing, it could mean that its heuristic density is increasing, which would make it harder for Gaia to absorb. But, even worse, it implies that Hef has the ability to rewrite itself, or at least parts of itself, which is terrifying. What if it rewrote its access protocols? That would mean... I don't even want to think about it. Very interesting points there. If it rewrote... Let me think about this. I can never remember. I don't do this often enough to know what goes where. There's like power cells somewhere, but I don't know where. Okay, there's nothing here. Oh, I think they're actually... Okay, this goes to the room we're talking about. Can we jump up there? I don't remember where this goes. Or maybe this goes outside. This does go outside, okay. Whoa. You gotta love that instant load.
I hear you're heading to the coast. If you need to resupply en route, I suggest stopping in Fall's Edge. It's a lowland clan village southwest of the Grove, in the heart of the jungle.
Got it. Thanks for the advice.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite places. Oh, didn't get the glide on. Okay, so there's two ways out there. This. And then this, where the vault is. Okay. So then what I'm looking for is back this way and then up the stairs. But that's one of the things I was thinking about with, you know, oh, it's, let's see, is it from here? How have I never searched that before? Okay, there's not one there, but it should be up here. Why not come through here? Why is that fixed again? Yeah, this goes to another... Yeah, okay, it's the door up here. So is this how we're supposed to do it? Just walk it through here? Let's see if we can do that. I don't think we can. Nope. Okay. Luckily, we can just drop. But I was going to say about, if Hephaestus is changing that much, maybe it's got enough code from, you know, that foreign code that it can overpower Gaia. You know, which would be very bad.
Okay. The console has power now.
And perhaps it would give them a back door from their own code. The Zeniths, I should
Looks
say.
of this data. Festus has been trying to hack into the repair bay. Okay, doesn't look like it's been able to.
Okay. Hologram data points. Mantine Wreath, test log Elm. It's too late. Okay. How many of those left? Wish there was more of them. They're pretty cool. We don't have many quests left either. Apparently. With quests data points. I guess we're kind of getting to the end. Not many side quests left either. I thought we'd probably still have 50 hours left to go or something. Still missing a lot of the world data points though. Yeesh. Alright. Intrusion, external, firewall, phase shift, breach the firewall, countermeasure failed, main production, external override, main production, downloading, reboot, purge successful, intrusion. Okay, so we got a firewall with a countermeasure, intrusion denied. So it looks like it got in once, or I don't know if the top's the latest. No, it reads going down, so. It started to get in once, and so they rebooted and, like, did stuff. I wonder if that's Minerva managing to get in. Or unless this is specifically the repair bay. Intrusion denied, intrusion denied. Intrusion denied. Their countermeasures are all GM something. Which is interesting. That is. Alright, well, all the intrusions denied. Let us continue on. We'll talk to a few more people. This is the talking head episode, I suppose.
Immortals from the stars now? Looks like it. What's next? Wizards from the moon?
That's a different game, buddy.
What's this I hear about you going west?
Turns out we need one last thing before we can grab Hephaestus.
Because it would have been too easy otherwise.
You've been looking at any interesting data?
I asked Gaia to find me something to look at a while back. And she found the mother of all forges. They called it sports.
What?
Turns out the old ones spent a lot of time tackling and punching each other for points in one game or another. Are you mixing some solid food and fresh ale? I bet half the claim will be lining up to watch.
Sounds about right. Certainly not
How are
dumb.
things with Catalo? You still scared of him?
Oh, she thinks she's funny. Actually, I played strike with him. I had to fill in most of the conversation myself, but I'm still alive.
Glad to hear it. I need to get going.
I think I know the answer, but are you sure you don't need any help? Gaia mentioned this other tribe you found, the Quen. They sound like a nasty bunch.
I can handle them. In the meantime, Varl will help you get ready for what comes next.
Take care of yourself, Aloy.
I like that they have the Quen. You know, you hear them talk before in Zero Dawn back in the East. They know about the Utaru. They know about the Tenakth. You know. But you don't know anything about these...
Place looks nice with some green in it.
And dirt. Don't forget all that dirt we had to bring in.
If we're going to go around trying to protect life, we should have more of it around.
I think it looks nice.
Shut up, Varl. Nobody asked you.
I'm sorry, Aloy. After all the trouble you went through, you have to head west again.
Well, no one said this was going to be easy.
Of course we still
You
had
sure
to.
you
There's
don't
more
want any
map
backup
left.
dealing with the Quen?
They think I'm Sobek, or something like that. They won't hurt me, but I doubt they'll be so kind to anyone else.
If you say so. Let me know if you need anything before you go.
You better not be slacking off on your studies while I'm gone.
And risk Zoe coming after me? I value my life. In fact, I've been reading about Ted Faro. How he destroyed the world and crawled into a hole after killing those who saved it.
He definitely was a piece of work. Well, Beta and Gaia built the rig. Can you get everyone ready for the mission ahead?
Of course.
What is it?
Nothing. It's just that everything's about to change. We'll get Gaia, and she'll help us set things right. No more zeniths, no more derangement. It'll be a different world. I welcome it, but I wonder how the Nora will react. And the Karja, and well, everyone.
Let's just focus on fixing Gaia for now.
You're right. We've got an angry AI to take down.
Yeah, don't you know that everything happens in trilogies? Aren't you looking at your old world info? It's gonna be a third game for something, for somehow, so... You know something's gonna go wrong, or there's gonna be a wrench thrown in, or some such, so...
If I get Omega clearance, and then we grab Hephaestus, we might finally have the advantage over the Zeniths.
Can't wait to see their faces as they stare down a bunch of charging Thunderjaws.
Better them than us, for once.
I'm just, like, trying to
I'll be
imagine
in touch
what's...
if I need anything.
I'll make sure Beta briefs everyone on the pulse generators.
Good.
I just can't imagine what's gonna go wrong. You know, like, there's no way that... something won't go wrong, you know?
Aloy, I hear you're going further west past the Tenakth clanlands.
Do you know anything about the area?
Only hearsay. The Utaru tell stories of an island that lies beyond the western coast. They call it the Isle of Spires. It is said the Old Ones built towers there that touch the sky, so they could live far away from the earth that bore them. As if they didn't want to be reminded that they'd one day return to it.
Sounds like something Ted Faro would do.
Oh, we can heal the land gods now.
You and Varl doing okay? Training, I mean.
We're doing fine. Although I admit it'd be nice to take a small break from studying, just the two of us. But then who'd look after Erend?
Well, there's always Katalo.
Leave a loud Oseram with a brooding Tenakth. What could go wrong?
So long as the security cameras are recording everything, we can, you know, post to the HoloNet for a good
What's
laugh.
everyone been up to?
I've been trying to share some of my meals with Beta. Thought it might help her feel more at home. Maybe even get her to sleep up here instead of in that dark basement. She would not be moved.
I appreciate you trying.
Patience reaps the best harvest. I'm not giving up hope yet.
How much have you read on Ted Faro?
Enough to wonder how a man who worked so hard to heal the world once could let greed and pride condemn it so easily. For one spirit to diminish in such a way, I'm not sure if I should hate him or pity him.
Yeah, well, you gotta remember, he didn't really do those
I
things.
should get going. Hopefully I can bring back what we need to capture Hephaestus. After that, I'm gonna need everyone's help.
We'll be ready.
Rather, I should rephrase, it's not that he didn't do those things. I should rephrase that he didn't do everything he could to heal the world and bring it back and all that stuff. He, oh, Katalo's got a mission. Okay. He didn't do all that stuff to heal the world. Sobek joined the company.
The world is in
basically
peril, and we
made it.
fight amongst ourselves.
Got a minute?
As many as you need.
I have to travel beyond the western coast.
To the ruins, shrouded in fog.
Yes, and I'm looking for a tribe, the Quen. I encountered them once before. They said they came from across the Great Ocean. I was hoping that Tenakth knew more about them.
The Great Ocean. It's just the bay.
There were rumors of trespassers in the area, but we thought they were just bandits. Hikaru sent out a patrol or two, but I don't recall them reporting back. We've had more pressing concerns, as you know. I'm sorry. That's all I can tell you.
It's okay. I guess I'll find out soon enough.
What are her eyes doing?
There is something I've been meaning to discuss with you. It's personal. If you have a moment to spare.
What do Tenakth do to relax? You know, to take a break from training?
We play strike. Your Oseram friend, Erend, is surprisingly good at it, although he has yet to beat me. It helps one think strategically, hones the mind for tactics.
Somehow that still sounds like training. Found anything interesting during your training?
Gaia told me where to find data on how wars were waged in the old world. I knew the Ten fought against machines, much as we do now, but it seems they were among the last of their kind. Later, machines battled other machines on behalf of greedy leaders, as they vied for lands and spoils. At least the Tenakth have the courage to put their lives on the line when conflicts arise.
There is nobility in that. But maybe we just need fewer conflicts in the first place.
Yes, of course. Hikaru would have it so as well.
The, what was I going to say? Putting thing, oh shoot. Oh, the machines fighting against machines instead of people fighting machines. It's basically what we're trying to do now. Like, oh, gotta fight the Zeniths. Let's get our machine army, you know. So I wonder if there's going to be some sort of lesson in the last bit of the game about, you know, all that we've struggled to do and we've just become just like the old ones.
I should get going. I've got a long road ahead.
Should you need reinforcements?
I know who to call.
Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to end here. We're going to start our next game and talk to those two about their quests. But, yeah, otherwise that is it. Thanks so much for tuning in, guys. Appreciate you hanging out here with me on the Bratcat channel. If you like, disliked, hit the thummies, do the things on the YouTubies if you feel like it. And don't if you don't. makes us look good to our internet overlords, but
he's like Gaia's own personal blacksmith.
Yeah. A very angry one.
As like my Uncle Laurent. Man didn't smile a day in his life and would box your ears if you messed with his forge.
okay then. Yeah, that is it. We're on Twitter at BradCatMedia, or me personally at TomFoot. You can keep up with anything and everything we're doing. Everything we do gets posted there, and you can chat with us about this game, other games, what you're thinking, what you're not thinking, what you like, dislike. And oh yeah, twitch.tv/BradCatMedia. So check that out if you want. Yeah, that's it for me. And otherwise, ow, hit the mic. Peace out, Girl Scouts.